Okay, folks, here we go. This is a Moog Voyager from 2004. It's a serial 1800. I think 4000 were built by Dr. Moog and Moog. And it sounds like this. You have the typical Moog sound, yes? A little bit different from Model D I also have here, and from the Matriarch and the Moog 1 I also have. I will do a comparison, but what I want to show you now, how do I bring it to 2022, and can I get away from this old school sound? First of all, I get a GFI Specular Tempest or an H9 by Eventide or Strymon or whatever, and you have these different sounds, like, and if I go into different attack, yes, and get out of the glide. The good thing is that the whole thing is had got this filter spacing, so I can go stereo. I don't know if you can listen to that on your headphone, but it's really interesting, this filter spacing thing, yes. And here are these traditional sounds. I also can do like this here. Sounds great, doesn't it? Yes. But this is normally, of course, you can use also a tape echo like Roland, and you pimp it like that. But best would be that it's stereo, because it's got stereo out. Yes, that's different from the Prophet 10 I've got here. This is mono out, but you can even pimp that going mono in, stereo out, if you get a decent echo or a reverb for that. Okay, but what about the other inputs I get on the back? Many people don't realize or don't use it, that you got a pedal input, and I get this Speco, a very cheap pedal here. This is attached to the filter. You can go with the rhythm or whatever. So this can also be one of the other parameters you have on the back. And if you have different pedals, it really... So if I combine that for let's say with a sync here, I can go into the LFO here, take a sine wave and say pitch of oscillator 2, and listen to that, and this in combination with the filter, you get a very vivid sound. And then I put in an octaver down here. This is really... Or to do this sound. Sounds like 2022 in a way. So you get away from this typical Moog sound everybody wants and really loves, like buying this sort of instrument, if you use something like that. By the way, the Specular Tempest is MIDI. If you buy an effect, take care that it's MIDI capable, that you don't have to fumble around somewhere. You just can play and change. Do whatever you want with the pedal and this. So this gives you a lot of freedom to play with this. So what else? We all know, I get out of the Specular thing here. This is a raw sound again, and there's some people are asking, can I use Eurorack with it? I'm using mass. From the mass I go on the one side into volume here, like for amplitude modulation, and the other one is going into the filter. So this is a volume, yes. I can go exponentially. And the other one, filter. So then I go in here again. Well, I just put in the on. So if I combine this with, let's say, sync 1, 2, get in there, and this one, and octave it. Press the pedal. Listen to this. So you can do a lot of experiments with that, even changing the waveforms here or putting in some noise. That sounds like sampling, yes? Well, that's kind of neat. So you can just, people were arguing, can you do that? It's easy, just go from Eurorack. The voltage seems to be compatible. So last thing, MIDI. I've taken a Bluetooth MIDI adapter here. It's really fantastic. Yes, it's powered by MIDI. That's the reason why we've got 5 poles on this DIN. And they really thought about it. Thank you, Dave Smith. Rest in peace. They really thought about future. It's still working. And I've got a Bluetooth receiver here. It's an app. Bluetooth, you have to connect it via Bluetooth from the iPad, and within Cubasis here on the iPad, you only have to choose the MIDI out Bluetooth, and then it's going like that. I take a different sound, and we have a look. So it's working. While it's working, you can again go into all these things. And I could also transpose it here, yes. And I can change the tempo here by tapping, yes. Tuck, 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 tuck. You have it's this ratchet thing, yes. And you hear these snappy filters, and I can filters with the pedal, yes. And so on and so on. So there's a lot of things you can do with that. in 2022, if you have an iPad Pro or an iPad and you have Eurorack and you have all this pedal stuff and you really choose the inputs, there's these extensions, but beware if you buy it on the market, maybe you need an extra card to put the voltage compatible. But I did this. Well, there's no guarantee. I don't know if if you spoil your Voyager, so I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can write down, don't do this. I did it and it worked. And I also could use this Euclidean cycles and pressure points and brains here by Make Noise to do some sequencing with it. And there's a lot of possibilities. And I even forgot this wonderful pad here. And well, in the end, let me only put in one more sound. So got a tree chord. And then you put in this here and listen to that. So you see, it's just some ideas. I hope it was not boring for you. I really love this. The whole thing, how it's done, it's an instrument, you know, it's made by hand. It was the last baby of Dr. Moog. Here's my telephone coming, but it's off. So if you get the chance to buy one, the prices are really ridiculously rising because it's out of stock and you only can buy it used. But it's fantastic. And also compared to the Moog One and the Matriarch, I will do a different video that you understand there are quite some differences. Yes, I think the Matriarch is much more this old school. It's much closer to the Mini Moog. It's got not this aggression, but like Rick Wakeman, Six Wives of Fennery VIII, you know, on Yes Songs, this solo, this is incredible. This is more Adam Holzman sound, yes? There is even some patches in it from Adam Holzman. If you buy it, you use the latest firmware. I think it's 3.6 by Rudi Linhardt here in Germany. He's taking care of the firmware. So there are still people using this or doing things for this. There's a forum on Facebook, very recommendable. Lots of people using it. And you know, look at the people who are using it. It's got a fantastic sound. And all the things I did here is for experimental measures, but if you use it on stage, I would use it purely. Like check out on YouTube Adam Holzman playing a solo on stage in a rehearsal, and he's got this sound, and he doesn't need anything. This sound is breaking through everything, even against world-class guitarists. It's fantastic, yes, for soloing. Well, it's not as big as this one, but you got this banks here of presets. You even can extend it by an update, and so very recommendable, and I'm very happy that I own this. And you can say, why does this guy need all this? But it's very different, and I'm going to show that in different videos. Thank you. Make music out there, and I really have fun with it. Bye-bye. See you.